Okay, this is the Introduction to Mr. Roth's Calculus class. We're going to have a little course overview and a little overview of the class expectations. So before we get started, make sure you have the syllabus. If you don't have it, pause the video. You can open the syllabus by clicking the Calc Files button on the Calculus page from my math page on the ISS website. So pause the video and get it. You can follow the syllabus as the video plays, and then, not everything that we go over will be on the syllabus, and not everything on the syllabus we're going to go over right now, and we might go out of order. But it's there because I want you to take notes. You can write things down, write down questions, write down things that are interesting, whatever you think you should do. You are going to be required to take notes on all the homework assignments. You might have fewer notes for this particular video, but please write down anything that is of interest or questions. Then read the questions on the homework form. You should read the questions before watching this video. So again, if you haven't read the questions, go ahead and pause the video. And if you think you know the answers, watch the video anyway. So don't answer the questions yet. Wait till after you watch the video, then answer the questions. But read them before you watch the video. Again, make sure you take notes. Homework will not be marked complete unless you can show me that you took notes on the videos. This is to let me know that you indeed watched the video, that you were thinking about the video, and didn't just, have the glassy eyes. So please take notes, write down questions, things of interest, things you think are important. You don't need to write down every single thing from every single slide, just whatever you think you need to really remember. So let's go over quickly the class rules and expectations. The rules, two of them: be nice and be respectful. That doesn't mean that you need to be best friends with everybody. You don't need to walk around holding hands, singing songs together, but you do need to be nice to everyone and be respectful of everyone. Everyone deserves that. So the class expectations: be on time every day. There are two parts to that. There's the on time and there's the every day. You're expected to be in class every single day. You're expected to be in class on time. So you're also expected to complete all of the assignments, every single one. When I was in high school, I kind of did enough assignments to get the grade that I wanted to get. That's not how it's going to work in this class. You need to complete all the assignments. If you don't complete the assignment and show understanding of it, then you're not going to be allowed to move on to the next assignment. So just get it done on time so you can stay with the rest of the class. I want you to work for the sake of learning. Again, don't just work for the sake of getting the work done. I want you to actually learn what you are expected to learn. If you're in this calculus class, you signed up for it because you wanted to learn it. So learn it. Don't just do the work for the sake of doing the work. Try to understand it. And if you don't, ask the questions that need to be asked. I'm not interested in you getting the work done for the sake of keeping busy. I'm interested in you developing your problem-solving and mathematical skills and competency. Do your best. Try your hardest. Don't take shortcuts. What do I mean by that? Well, first we need to understand how I define exercises versus problems. Exercises are like the practice questions that you do. You might have 10, 15 questions that are very similar, or they just give you practice of something that we learned in class. Those are exercises. You want to get a little help on those. Maybe the first two you get some help from somebody so that you can do the rest on your own. That's fine. You want to look up the answer so that you know whether you did it right. That's fine. Going for the practice problems, not practice problems, but actual problems. What I mean by that are deep and meaningful problems that might take a whole class period or several class periods to actually complete. Those I do not want you looking up. You might find some of these problems, they might be famous problems that you can find on the internet, but don't look them up. I want you to engage in the problem so that you can learn what you're supposed to learn. If you're looking up the answer, even if you can follow along and understand somebody else's solution, that's not the same thing as coming up with a solution yourself. Flipped classroom. This is your first video in the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is where we give you homework every day. You're going to have homework every day, sometimes even days when we don't meet. And the homework is going to consist of a video, the lecture, the lesson. Instead of that being done in class, it's done at home. So it's done for homework, which means you're going to need internet outside of class. If that becomes a problem for you, we'll have to figure something else out. Maybe we'll put the videos on a flash drive for you or something like that. Then following the video, you'll have some basic easy questions to test basic understanding of the video, see if you watched it, see if you understood it. Nothing deep and meaningful here. Sometimes I'll give extra practice for homework. That'll be more of your typical do questions 2 through 20, or here's a worksheet, things like that. I'll do that every once in a while if I think that you need extra practice. Sometimes I'll just suggest it, and sometimes I'll say you have to do it. So in class, because we're doing the lecture at home, that frees us up to do more group work. I'm going to be grouping you by level of understanding. Sometimes you'll self-select, so you watch the video, you really didn't understand something, so you'll go to the I really didn't understand something group. Or maybe you got it, seemed easy to you, you're ready to move on, you'll go into that group. Sometimes I'll tell you where to sit. I'll say, you know what, I think you're more at the same level as these kids over here in terms of your understanding, so why don't you guys work together and work something out. Or I might mix things up a little bit. Again, because we're doing the lecture at home on the video, then you'll be able to do more practice in class when you have other students or the teacher to help you. We'll have time to work on my favorite stuff, which are non-routine problems, where you really engage in a problem and try to solve it. And we'll also be doing a lot of projects, and you'll have time to do some of those in class. Quickly, the website, you're probably familiar, but just for new students, or everybody's new to me, so you can see what the website, how to use the website for this particular class. This video is going to go through looking at Algebra 2, but it's the same thing for you guys. You're just going to click on Calculus instead of Algebra 2. So, of course, you know to go to Academics and then go to Mr. Roth. That's to get to my math page. From there, you're going to click on Calculus. I'm going to click on Algebra 2 here, but you click on Calculus. And you can see some upcoming events. You can see an assignment list. There's the Algebra 2 files. You'll click on Calculus Files. In the other documents, you'll find the syllabus. Hopefully you already have that open. And then in the Unit 1 folder, you'll have some files in there, classwork, etc. And then there's the assignment list, which is going to be a clickable document where you can actually click to get the assignments on your computer. So you can also do that from the website and the upcoming events agenda list. There's another copy of the assignment list for you, and then there's the calendar. So on the calendar, you can even click on that and click on the assignment there. So there's the homework assignment. You can click on that. It takes you to the assignment. So again, you read the questions ahead of time, you watch the video, you answer the questions, you're taking notes while you watch the video, and then you click Submit. And that's how most of your homework assignments are going to be. And other than that, maybe I'll have a link to ThinkWave, the grading. I don't have that set up yet. Once I do, I'll probably put a link to that on the website as well. That brings me to assessment and grading. I want you to know I hate grades. I think they're stupid, but I kind of have to do them. So don't ask me about your grades. I love learning. I love being challenged. I love attacking new, challenging problems. But like I said, I have to give grades. That doesn't mean that you should ask me about your grades, because I can't stand that. What you should ask me about is your learning. Each unit I'm going to have learning targets set up that you're supposed to work towards mastery. And a good question would be, how am I doing in terms of learning the learning targets? Do you think I've mastered this learning target? What can I do to get better at this learning target? Think questions like that, not what grade did I get? What grade should I get? Not, how is this going to affect my grade? I don't care about stuff like that. It's just going to annoy me, so don't even ask me questions like that. So how do I know whether you've met the learning targets? Continuously, every single time we meet, I'm going to be assessing you to make sure that you're progressing toward those learning targets. And then at the end of a unit, I'm going to do what's called a summative assessment, where I'm seeing whether you have met proficiency or you're approaching mastery for those learning targets. That's called a summative assessment, and I'm going to be giving a test and a project at the end of every unit. Now, that's what I generally do for calculus. I'm not sure how many projects we're going to do. We'll have to kind of see where you guys are at, whether we need to move forward, or whether we have time for such a project. So, what is calculus? It's the study of the instantaneous. We're looking at things so infinitely small that they're considered instantaneous. To understand that, we need to know limits, so we're going to start with a review of that. It's also the study of area and volume of kind of complex shapes. So we'll look at that. In order to do that, we have to learn about derivatives and integrals. We need to know functions, limits, and series. So we're going to start off with a review of functions and limits. And if we need to, we'll do series as well, followed by derivatives and applications, integrals and applications, and then the derivatives and integrals of non-polynomials. This is going to be essentially follow the same or similar scope and sequence of a first semester college course or an AP Calculus AB class, but we're not preparing for the AP exam. So if you want to prepare for the AP exam, you're going to have to do a lot of work outside of class on your own to do that, because we're not going to be preparing for that in class. However, we are going to cover much of the same material. So that is the end. Go ahead and answer the questions. Hopefully you took notes, you wrote down some questions. Feel free to see me tomorrow on Wednesday. If not, then I'll see you on Thursday, and you can ask me more questions there. You're going to have another homework assignment on Wednesday night due Thursday, so please make sure that you did this on Tuesday. If not, you're going to have more to do on Wednesday. So I will see you on Thursday.